All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight, special crew put together. We got Keith, Chris, and Austin, who's finally wearing something that's not a green shirt, so you'll be able to see him.
Not a floating head.
Not a floating head this go around. So we're going to jump into some college baseball predictions with the college baseball season just 10 days away. As always, hit the subscribe button for us, please. We are growing the channel. You know we're going to interact with you. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being part of the family. Like this button, or hit the like button for us so that this video becomes more popular. And as always, hit us in the comments because I said, you know, we will get back with you. So, what?
I was going to say like this button. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to jump into some college baseball. So, if you're a big college baseball fan, one of my favorite, I think, traditions, pageantry, obviously the SEC has dominated college baseball for so long. We'll cover a little bit of kind of what those predictions look like. We're going to hop into the top three teams right now. These are the three current money favorites. LSU and Tennessee, heavy favorites. As you get to Stanford at number 3, they're plus 1,000. So I was looking over this LSU team. Obviously, for me, looking back on their season last year, they had a pretty good year. Jacob Berry was their big-time player, hitting 370 with 15 homers. A lot of this lineup for LSU is gone, but they dominated the transfer portal in college baseball. They picked up the best player in the portal, Tommy White.
From NC State.
Yeah, Tommy White, who batted 367 last year, 27 homers, 74 RBIs, as a true freshman in college baseball.
Dude's gonna hit 30 dingers.
He might come close to 40.
Yeah.
Wild statement. Give me the field.
Versus these three?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with college baseball, that's just kind of how it goes.
You get to,
there's too many games to play, and then you get into the
You get such a long postseason tournament.
Well, you get the regionals, the supers, and then you have to go to Omaha. I mean, there's just so much involved. I don't think you can. I don't think you can go wire to wire.
I think
it's
we're
so
going to
hard.
do the same thing we did last year, and the SEC is going to start beating up on the SEC, and then
That's what it is every year.
Yeah,
I mean, it just happens every single year. But we had five teams in the at Omaha last year.
yeah.
I think it was 4. I think we had half the field,
Yeah,
4. But hopping back into LSU, you're looking at Dylan Cruz, who's predicted to be the SEC Player of the Year. This guy batted 350 last year with 22 homers and 72 RBIs. These two are going to be a two-man tandem. And then, the rest of the lineup for LSU doesn't blow me away, is what I'll say. A lot of their players are gone from the batting side of the lineup. Pitchers have returned, but there's really not anyone that they should be super excited about as far as pitchers. I will say I thought they picked up two really good transfers in Christian Little from Vanderbilt, a guy that went 4-4 last year, 4.65 ERA, but struck out 95 guys in 80 innings, which can kind of put you into a really good bullpen role. And then Dylan, I'll call him Tabrake,
I would say.
They say his last name?
Tebrake.
Yeah.
I would say Tabrake.
Yeah, a guy from Creighton. Man had an incredible season last year. 8-2, 115 strikeouts, 2.81 ERA, and 93 innings pitched. So definitely a guy that I think will make, if not the ace, at least a top 2, 3-man part of the rotation.
I think when you
for
get
LSU.
looking at LSU and Tennessee, they're both, they may have one or two guys that you're like, oh, this guy is the guy.
Yeah.
Right? One or two guys. But, they are just quality. You're going to look 1 through 7.
They've been that for a long time.
You're going to look 1 through 7. They're all going to hit over 300.
Yeah.
With 12 to 20 home runs. Someone maybe up in the 25 number.
Tommy White and Dylan Cruz are going to be possibly 30 homer guys.
But that's what I mean is you're just going to have quality, and you're never going to get an easy out. And on the mound, you're not going to have an ace that's going to go 15-2 or anything absurd like that.
But they're going to give you quality starts every time.
But they're going to give you quality starts, and they're going to give up 3 runs a start or something like that. I mean, they're going to
get rattled. They're going to
give you 6 innings. They're going to give up a run or 2, and that's what they need. I mean, you have that good of a quality at bats and quality.
You're in any game.
If your starter goes out there and gives you 6 to 7 with 2 to 3 runs, LSU will win 80% of their games.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, but like I said, LSU lost, I want to say 7 of the 9 hitters in their lineup. So, whether that's position and or DH. So, obviously a lot of turnover there. Granted, they brought in 7 players, including 3 pitchers. from the transfer portal as well. So, next man up mentality for them, I'm sure, plus bringing in some of these transfers to be able to help you out. Obviously, getting the best guy in the transfer portal baseball-wise and Tommy White is huge for him as well. So, I will argue Austin's point with Tennessee. He was like, I don't feel like Tennessee's going to have, a player that kind of stands out. Tennessee is getting...
I said they'll have one or two.
Pitching-wise, Tennessee is literally getting back all three of their weekend rotation guys who combined for 26-4 this past season with a sub-3 ERA on all three of the guys.
26-3, buddy.
Yeah, 26-3, sorry. Even worse. 26-3. So for Tennessee, you're getting your big arms back. You're getting everybody but your closer pretty much. They're also getting two guys out of the pen that pitched over 38 innings for them and had sub 1.7 ERAs.
Didn't they get what's his name's brother who throws like just as hard as the good closer?
They did. So
Jesus.
Tennessee's arms are absolutely stacked this year, but they have lost pretty much all of their lineup.
All their power hitting.
Literally the top 7 guys on their team, batting average wise, all gone. Power hitting wise,
This is Lipschitz or whatever. He was there last year.
no, he's gone.
Oh, that's a gone guy?
Yeah, all of these guys are gone.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so you're talking about a guy like Trey Lipscomb who hit 22 homers and drove in 84 guys while batting 355, gone. So for Tennessee, didn't look like they picked up a whole lot of stuff in the portal. So for them, obviously, I know they're ranked number 2 because of the pitching, right? It's clearly there.
Which team would you rather have? Would you rather have the
I'd
pitching?
rather have Tennessee.
You would rather have the pitching?
Yeah. I'd rather have the pitching. I think the
I'm-
pitching can get you farther in the postseason for me. I think across the season, I can find a way to get 4 to 5 guys that can produce some runs for me across the lineup. Some way, somehow, I'll get back.
I think if you give me a weekend set of quality, I think I would take that over 7 deep in a lineup.
Yeah.
I think that's the play.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if you're going to hand me 2 guys that are sophomore and a guy that's a junior that has experience, all of them started over 15 games last year, and they're all under 3 in the ERAs. I mean, yeah, it's not a hard decision for me. I'm going to take the pitching.
I mean, you're averaging like a 250 batting average against. So I mean that's a good team, but I mean, again, you got to make it out of SEC play. We're not worried about these teams. They'll probably all have supers. They'll probably have regionals and supers. So I mean, you're really just praying to God that those 3 guys stay healthy. If you're Tennessee,
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing. Is just can those 3 arms stay healthy? Because once you lose those arms,
yeah, you go into regional with all 3 guys healthy. Tennessee's got a good chance to win regional. You go into supers with all 3 arms healthy. You got a team that's got to beat you twice against your 3 best guys.
Yeah. It's hard.
You like on your home field because they're likely going to be in the top 8.
they'll be a top 8.
Yeah, I mean, they got the road to Omaha, and then once you get there, you figure it out. I mean, that's just college baseball. You got to get there. You got to get one step at a time, and it helps when you host.
I'm really interested in why Stanford's the number 3 team in the country, and I'm not dogging anybody else, but I look at Stanford and I see what I see with Stanford is, do they have Carter Graham back? No, they don't. Do they have Brock Jones back? Yeah, or sorry, flip that. They don't have Brock Jones anymore. They have Carter Graham. Carter, obviously, 22 homers, 331, 7 RBIs, hitter, right? Brett Berea, they got back, 351 hitter. I can see that. I can see some of the bottom parts of the lineup with Braden Montgomery and Drew Bowser, who were 2 freshmen last year, now sophomores. And then I flip over to the pitching, and I look at the pitching, and
Something special.
Quinn Matthews has some good numbers. The other 2 starters are out of the rotation, so I guess you got an ace, but you don't really have any, experience coming back from those other 2 starters. So for me, for Stanford, I'm a little curious why they're number 3, but
I think they're the flip side of that. They got 3 or 4 guys that are high-level draft picks, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 guys that between your ace and your 2 hitters that are going to hit 350 to 400. Like, you got three or 4 guys that like every day they're going to produce. But I think what they're taking into consideration is strength of schedule, who they play, the division.
Right.
I mean,
True. All right. So in the field, you said you would take the field versus the other three. So I'll show you the field here for your set.
You just give me you give me Ole Miss, a team like that I think that
Scrappy team that's got good pitching.
exactly.
Ole Miss is actually the fourth.
You give me a North Carolina, always good, always.
Louisville's always got a decent team.
Louisville's plus 4,000. Yeah.
What's North Carolina got? Go up.
Texas A&M is decent.
That's not what I was looking for.
I mean,
Texas A&M is actually, I think, predicted fourth best in the SEC. You were looking for who?
I mean, you got Vandy, Florida, Oregon
Arkansas,
State,
Oregon
Oklahoma
State, Texas
State.
is right there. North Carolina's plus 3,300.
I like that.
And there's your UCLA. Louisville's plus 4,000. Notre Dame's been
Don't
a bit
waste your
strong.
money on Notre Dame. They're not going to make it out of the regionals. We all know this.
I'm not saying that, but they've been a strong team. I'm not saying they're going to make it far.
Yeah.
I mean, NC State's always been a good scrappy team too.
UC Santa Barbara's over here plus 1,000. Clemson's plus 10,000. South Carolina's not even on this list.
Yeah.
That's how you got to.
South Carolina doesn't deserve to be ranked in the top 25.
South Carolina doesn't deserve to be ranked in the top 50.
50
Okay, yeah, that might be a little
large.
aggressive. Top 35.
There you go.
Top 35.
Yeah, we'll say 36 to 50. That'll be okay.
All right, so let's take these three out of gamble. Actually, let's take the top 5 out. If I give you Vandy working down here, who are you taking?
I like Texas.
I like Texas too.
I like Texas.
I really like Texas
I don't
too.
think I would go Texas. I think you go away from an SEC team just because of
Well, they're not SEC yet.
Yeah, but you have Vandy, Florida, A&M are the top 3 we're looking at on this list. You don't take any of those because
They're going to beat up on each other.
yeah, and they're probably not going to get a super. You look at those 3 teams. You look at what else is above them, and 3 SEC teams above them.
But they have the ability to host a super. Because it could potentially happen. Because we've all seen some of these number 1
Yeah.
seeds go down. I mean, these
Yeah.
top 8 seeds go
But
down.
if you just think what team's going to be in the top 8, I'm probably going Oregon State on that list.
I like Oregon State.
I think they
That's
can
fair.
battle. I think they've been there a little bit. It's not new to them. There's a good chance that they may win the Pac-12 and get a top 8 seed. They're probably playing at home at least for the
At
regional.
least I bet all of these guys are
those
playing
play.
at home for the regional.
Yeah, most of those guys are. And then hopefully you get a super, and then someone's got to beat you twice at your place, and that's what you're paying attention to when you're a team that really think you can win it. Can you get in that top 8 or top 10? I mean, where you can get a possibility.
Where that ability's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that you're trying to do. There. I mean, think about when Texas joins the SEC though, baseball wise.
I mean, Oklahoma's not a bad team either.
I know we've talked football, but you add those 2 to the SEC in baseball,
Yeah.
and it's like
And
I'm
basketball too.
gonna slide off the Texas pick a little bit here too, and I'm gonna say Oklahoma State. I've forgotten how good Oklahoma State has been for the last 10
they're
years
a good
under Josh Holiday.
they're a good baseball.
They're a
team.
good baseball team.
They are.
They haven't had the stuff needed to win a championship, but they're a team that if I'm going to put money on a team saying that I'm going to get to let's say super regional, yeah, I like Okie State's chance to get to super regional.
Okay, let's hear. How many SEC teams make a regional?
Make a regional,
Make a regional.
not host a regional, just make a regional.
Make a regional.
12 and 14.
Postseason baseball.
I'm going to go 10 of 14.
I'll split you. I'll go 11.
Yeah, I just if I'm looking at some of these, let's go.
Are you taking 4 in Omaha again?
No. Well, wow, that's actually hard. I don't know.
4 in Omaha.
I mean, I can see 4 going Omaha again.
If I'm gonna give you teams that don't make a regional, Missouri, Kentucky,
Auburn,
Georgia, and Auburn. Those 4 for me don't make a regional. I think South Carolina makes one. I think Vandy, Florida, Tennessee.
I think Auburn can make one.
No, I think Mississippi State, Alabama, South Carolina all make one, and I'll say 7 of the 16 are hosted by SEC.
I say 4 make it. 4 or more make it to Omaha.
LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Potentially Florida.
LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and either A&M or Florida.
Okay, not
I'm
Arkansas.
not a huge Arkansas fan this year. I don't
Okay.
know why, but
They
Arkansas.
lost a lot last year too.
Yeah, but Arkansas always loses a lot, and then they come up and they have these 2 or 3 great hitters that fucking carry the team and hit 3 grand slams and shit. I mean, they just
That is true.
they pulled. I watched a game where Arkansas beat us 28-3. I think.
Oh, by the way, new thing this year, SEC's implemented a 10-run rule after 7.
Oh, thank
So
God.
if you are getting beat by 10 runs after 7 innings, your game's over. So
I think they should keep that rule for midweek games only.
I think that's fair too.
I
Actually.
think weekend, let them
But-
beat the dog
But
shit
the
out of
problem
them.
with that is sometimes Carolina's getting beat by 10.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna get beat by 10 this year. They're gonna get beat by 10 this year.
All right, how many times does Carolina get beat by 10 this year?
10-run rule in the SEC?
Yeah.
6.
Whoa!
6 times.
That number is high, boy.
Probably all 3 of the Tennessee weekends.
Yeah, Tennessee, LSU.
Probably all 3 of the Tennessee weekend games.
2.
10-run rule.
2.
I say 6.
Let's put them in. I'll go 4.
Yeah.
I feel good about
2. That's a high number. I mean,
Have you
but-
seen how bad our hitting is?
So, hey, if you're down like 7
Do you just let them score and get out of the game?
in the fifth, and you don't want to blow your pitch, like this is a Friday night game, you're down 7 in the 5th. Do you just let them score 3 more
it. Yeah.
so that you can keep your pitching
Yeah.
into the
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, yeah. I remember watching that game. Arkansas beat us by, I think, 25. I really do.
You could lose that game.
Yeah.
You could probably lose that game.
No, you're not losing Quinn Clemson at Clemson, then Greenville, then in Columbia this year. Citadel, Upstate, Bethune-Cookman. All right, so they're at Georgia.
Oh,
That should be
the
one
Blue
of the
Hens. Yeah,
series.
Missouri, Mississippi State. I like what we're looking
You got
at.
North Carolina.
We're gonna
All right,
get-
so LSU at home. They're going to get 10-run ruled.
No,
maybe twice.
Oh, yeah, at home.
Maybe twice. At Vandy, there's probably going to be at least 1 in there. Florida, I like.
10-run
I
rule,
like
Chris. Do you understand how hard it is to 10-run rule someone in baseball?
Do you understand how bad our hitting is?
No, I get it. I get it. So we have LSU and Tennessee at home. Man, you better
Yeah.
be buying some season tickets, dude. That's some value right there.
I'm not worried about buying season tickets to baseball.
Not again.
That's some value right there.
Nope. So I'll buy them whenever buy them whenever we want to go. But
Yeah.
all right. Any last
Real
predictions?
member still in this team.
Yes, he is. Any last predictions for the season? No? All right. Hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win the 2023 College Baseball World Series. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.